This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television at the Under Armour Performance Center, where the Baltimore Ravens just wrapped up their final practice as they continue their road stretch. And this time they'll be meeting the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. This is another divisional rivalry, but as Lamar Jackson noted earlier in the week, this one in particular is even more intense than the other ones, and you can definitely expect this to be an intense game, not just because it's a rivalry, but right now the Ravens sit on top of the division at 3-1, and right behind them is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they're going to be coming for that number one spot, and the Ravens are going to be trying to protect that spot. In addition to that, Patrick Queen, he talked about how this rivalry in particular, it's personal for him. And a lot of the guys, they know the importance of this game and just going against a divisional opponent. But they do just like to look at it 1 week at a time, and they're treating this no differently. On the injury front, the Steelers, we've been hearing that either Kenny Pickett will play or Mitch Trubisky. It has not been confirmed right now. Kenny Pickett doesn't have any status on the injury report, so we'll see. But he seems to think that he will be out there Sunday. Either way, Coach Harbaugh said that the Ravens are actually preparing for the Steelers' offense, not necessarily which quarterback will play. In addition to that, the Ravens, they got some key guys back with wide receiver Odell Beckham and Rashad Bateman. They all practiced this week. In addition to that, Marlon Humphrey, who had surgery in the offseason, he also returned to practice. It's looking like Odell, he said he does expect to play. We also will probably see Rashad Bateman playing this Sunday, and we'll have to see how far Marlon Humphrey has come in his recovery, whether or not he'll be out there. So it's going to be a big weekend for the Ravens, as it has been over the past couple weeks, as they continue to take on the divisional rivalries on the road in the first part of their schedule. On Sunday after the game, the team will head to London, where they will start their preparations for the Titans. This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television. Be sure to follow us for all your Ravens coverage.
Vitamin C.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Sorry. Everybody jumped in here.
Yeah, I was asking earlier about Butkus, having interactions with him in Chicago, and just I guess your thoughts on him.
Yeah, man, definitely a lot of respect for Butkus, and the legendary life that he's lived and the way he played the game, and definitely has had many encounters with him as well as his son Matt. Whether that's going to dinners, having a drink or sharing a drink or something like that, and or just like chopping up balls. So definitely sucks, man. But it's part of life. So but definitely praying for the family, and I know it's a tough time for them. So I can only imagine how tough it is when losing a legend like that.
Roquan, you've been drawing some comparisons lately to Ray Lewis. What's it like for you to be compared to such a great player?
Honestly, man, just being mentioned in the same sentence as Ray Lewis, it's humbling for sure. But I just try to go out week in and week out and just play my style, who I am as a person, and I'm Roquan, and I just try to go out and play that style. Ray did his thing for many years, considered the greatest to ever play the position in many eyes. So I always have a great deal of respect for him, and I'm just grateful to be in the position and even be in the same sentence as Ray.
Do you look at lifting up other guys and being kind of a tone setter as part of your job, or is that just part of you, or how do you look at that?
Honestly, I just look at it as just me being myself. I don't try to say, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. I think the best person to be is yourself, and that's who I know how to be 100%, authentic myself, always and forever. And that's just what I'll always be, and I'll never try to change up regardless of the circumstances, situation, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like guys respect that, even from afar, as well as guys who are close to me. So that's what I just try to do day in and day out and never switch up.
Thank you, Roquan.
Just feel good to be back out there. Keep your energy high. It's tough when you work so hard and then little things happen or whatever it is, but just focus on the present happy to be back out there.
You expect to be out there Sunday?
Yeah, expect to be out there. You know, see what we have going on in the game plan.
Did you try to give it a go last week, or was it still kind of testing it out?
We tried. It just was, you know, sometimes the rest do the body, the mind, everything good. So just happened to be what happened. You just sometimes, you know how life is. You just got to go with the flow.
Frustrating though, man. You got to be really
Absolutely. I feel like that's been God's biggest test to me is patience. And early on in my life, I feel like I failed that test a lot by what my own heart desires and not what His plan is. And that's a very hard line to walk. There's so much you want to do. But God has His own plans, and it's usually not your plan. So you just got to stay patient, listen, be faithful. I feel like that's where your faith comes in. And you know, now I'm here where I'm at, and I feel good about that.
Now you've played in a lot of rivalry games, but what do you anticipate for Ravens Steelers? Your first one.
Yeah, I've been on the Browns, Steelers, the Browns, Ravens. I mean, I think the whole division. It's all the same. But I know the history between the two, so I don't imagine it being any different than when I was on Cleveland. You know, this whole division is a tough group for these four teams to go against each other.
Odell, you guys, Mark Andrews has missed some time. You've missed some time. JK hasn't been here. Rashad, a couple of your starting offensive linemen. You guys are figuring out a way on offense to still, you know, win games and put up numbers. Do you take a lot of positives out of that you guys are finding a way while still kind of trying to search for consistency and all that?
Absolutely. I think that's the best thing about this team. You know, we always talked about it when X, Z, Y, whoever it was wasn't playing, the next man has to step up. And to see that this is a team with the record that we have, that we're just a good team, you know, a very good team. I don't think we played our best game yet. Actually, I know we haven't played our best game yet. I don't really think we played the best of games, but we're still finding ways to win. And it's not really close, so to say. And there's a lot of things that we're doing wrong to where the games are ending the way that they're ending. So I take that as a positive, to know we haven't played our best football and we're still finding ways to win and be successful. That's probably my favorite thing about what we have going on.
Along those lines, you know, we're now 4 weeks in, a lot of time with Lamar, the offense, etc. You know, we've seen it flash, you know, in a couple of games now. How do you feel like, I guess, the progress has been in that, and maybe how comfortable you are with it?
Again, I think it kind of goes back to what I was just talking about. I think that's the best part about it. It's like we see the flashes, we see that, but we know as a group internally, it's like we're not hitting on everything the way that we could be hitting on, and that's a positive to know that the ceiling is what it is, and we're not there at the ceiling. And it's only week 4. You know, you just keep finding ways to progress and get better. It's very interesting when you have that perspective of it. I think it leaves us with a lot of room to improve and things for us to be excited for.
Last one, please. Was there ever a moment of, oh no, or what? I'm just trying to get something, or was it just like a little?
It was more preventative. It was more like I've gone through a lot in my life, and I can't take any more, you know, heartbreak. I know later on in life, you know, some things will happen or whatever it is, but it just was more preventative. Listen, it's a long season. We have a great setup for the back half of the season. You know, we want to be able to play in those big time games, and you just got to do the smart thing and know that the team that we have here is still going to find a way to get it done with or without me. The same way when someone else is not playing, we're going to find a way to get it done. That's just the mentality that we all have here. And I think that's one of the strongest qualities and best things about this team.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Frida Parks here with Kyle Hamilton. Kyle, you've been playing out your mind the past couple of weeks. You're welcome. What's been your mindset? I know you came into this season just, you know, wanting to further prove yourself in your second year.
Yeah, it's been a week-to-week thing. Preparing every week for the opponent, trying to stay focused on them, and then going out and executing. That's all it is. Not making it too complicated, playing within the defense. But yeah, I still feel like I got a long way to go, and you know, it's only 4 weeks into the season, so get a dub in Pittsburgh and then travel to London and get one.
I mean, you say you have a long way to go. I mean, personally for you, like, what are those individual goals where you would feel like, you know, I'm doing what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, I like to say I'm a perfectionist of some sort.
So it'll never be just one thing.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, I'm always thinking about a play I could have had back or stuff like that. I don't necessarily let it get me down per se, but I'm always thinking about ways to build on certain things. And I feel like I have a bunch of stuff that I can work on right now. So maybe down the road, when I'm like, well, I feel like I've done everything. Who knows how far or close that is, but I feel like I still got a good ways to go.
And then Mike McDonald, the other day, we were talking about you, and he just mentioned that for you in the future, he just wants you to keep being Kyle. So if you could describe your style of play and what that means, like, for you.
Yeah, I'd say fast, aggressive, meticulous, but without thought at the same time, if that makes sense. Being calculated, understand pre-snap what's about to come, but after the ball is snapped, just not thinking, just letting it rip.
Yeah.
Like I'm someone who helps teammates in communication and stuff like that, and at the same time help myself by just getting ahead to play if I can. At the end of the day, just going out there and playing fast, hitting stuff.
This week you got the Steelers, and that's like the rivalry, and everyone's saying this is more of an intense rivalry. Like, talk a little bit about Sunday and, just thoughts going into the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was a part of it last year. Didn't end on the note that we wanted to. We definitely have some stuff in that game that we want to improve on going into this Sunday. So, and I'm sure they do on their side as well. So, it's a big rivalry. And, you guys on the team now are only a part of it because I feel like everybody before us on both sides, both teams have set up this rivalry to make it what it is today.
Right.
And it's up to us to go out there and do it justice.
All right, and then I want to ask you about the game ball last week. We saw that you gave the ball to your mom. So talk about why you decided to do that.
Yeah, I mean, she's just done a lot for me growing up. Wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for her. And I thought that was just to commemorate that, kind of give her a nugget from the game that I got my first NFL pick. It's kind of a culmination of everything that's gotten us to this point now. So.
Okay, and then final question for you. Any pregame rituals? What do you do to get your mind right, get ready for the game?
No, nothing crazy. Just I'll run out the tunnel and then go to the opposite end zone and say a prayer. I feel like it kind of just centers me.
Yeah.
Gets all the thoughts out of it, and then before the game I'll read some scripture, just some stuff that caught my eye and that I have bookmarked to give me confidence going to the game, security going to the game, stuff like that. And, like I said, just getting centered before the game and let it rip.
Okay, well, I thought that was my last question, but your answer sparked another question for me. Your faith. Talk a bit about your faith, because you say you go to the other side of the end zone, say a prayer, read scriptures. Like, how has that kind of played into your life?
Yeah, like growing up, I was Christian, non-denominational. Mom took us to church, dad, grandmother took us to church. I feel like as I've gotten older, I kind of want to grow my faith a little more. I feel like going through college and football and stuff, obviously we play on Sundays, so it's hard for us to go to church. But yeah, I feel like that's something I really want to hone in on this year and into the offseason. Just kind of get in touch with the Lord a little more, reading more scripture and stuff like that. It's very interesting to me, and probably, it's going to get into it a lot more.
Cool.